Pilot Maurice Johnson in Skycam 7. And Mr. DeMille, first of all, let us say how utterly devastated we all are at what's happened to your town. This must be a very difficult thing for you to see.
It's extremely difficult. It's difficult enough for a person in the mayor's position, but I've grown up here in Homestead, and I never in my any dreams thought I'd see anything like this.
How is your home personally and your family?
In pretty good shape. We lost some of the roof, the windows, but everybody's healthy, and nobody got cut by flying glass, and we're very thankful for it.
Mayor, I understand that roughly 70% of the people of Homestead did evacuate their homes. I've been curious and haven't had the chance to ask anyone this question. Where did they go? Did they go to shelters in Homestead? And if so, were those shelters damaged as well?
No, the shelters, we didn't have shelters open in Homestead. The shelters were north of us. Homestead in the Category 5 planning maps is a flood plain, so we did not have shelters available here.
So in other words, the people, the 70% of your town that did evacuate, went to shelters north, and they should be relatively okay at this point, those people. Yeah,
again, the most important thing as I look down on this devastation is that people's lives were saved. In buildings where normally one would think they would be safe, they're built to 120-mile-an-hour storm standards here in Dade County. Even those buildings that one would assume would be safe have lost roofs and walls, etc.
And considering that, then, it is truly remarkable that fewer people were killed. Do you agree with assessments that about 90% of Homestead is a total loss?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know about total loss, but certainly substantial damage.
Do you even, at this point, how do you foresee rebuilding?
It will not be possible without a great deal of assistance from both the federal government and the state level. And the governor was in town with us yesterday and has assured us that we're going to be a priority for his administration. I've not had a chance to talk to President Bush yet, but I'm understanding that he's also declared us a disaster area.
Mayor, are you comfortable with what many public officials are saying, that people are getting the supplies, the food and water and the medical services that they need? Or would you agree with some of our reporters who are saying that, in fact, that there are many people who are totally alone at this point and are not getting the supplies that they need?
To answer yes to both questions is kind of incongruous, but I think both have a yes answer to them. I don't think that anyone anticipated a disaster of this magnitude, and it's taking a period of time to really bring the services to the people. The city manager, Alex Muckman, and I were speaking this morning. We're going to be sending police officers into the streets with information for the general public. One of the biggest problems we've had here is communication. For the first day and a half, we had virtually no communication out of the city as far as phones and things. So it's a matter of coordination at this moment and getting the supplies to those that need them.
I know that the Air Force Base is very important there, and many people have called us with concerns about what the future of the Air Force Base is. It's certainly probably too soon to tell exactly, but how hopeful are you that they can rebuild it and re-employ these people?
I would think that the only real hope that we have, I had an opportunity to go to Washington this February and meet with General McPeak and General Lowe regarding Homestead Air Force Base. The value of Homestead Air Force Base was its geopolitical location. If those mission objectives still stand, Fidel Castro, the importance of the Caribbean Basin, if those objectives are still strategic to the national interest, then we'll be rebuilt. If they're not as strategic as the dollars and the economy or the budget dictates, then I do think we have a problem with Homestead Air Force Base being rebuilt.
Well, the first thing you need to do, I know, is to get your homes and things back on working conditions.
Mayor, I want to pose a question to you that I asked of Craig Stevens, who's with the emergency management folks in Dade County. He was going to check on it and get back to us. And what it is why do you think that they haven't brought in supplies to some of these people by helicopter? It seems so obvious of a thing that they would do when these people are sitting there without food and water that they need.
I don't know that the helicopter is necessarily the way to bring it in. The arterial, one of the things that we concentrated on, I think that Dade County concentrated on, was opening the arterial accesses to the community. Those are generally open, so we are receiving over at the Armory now semi-truck loads of supplies. So I don't know that helicopters is, you know, that's pretty much an emergency way of bringing things to a community. I think that we can now accept in well-coordinated manners semi-truck loads of materials.
And the looting situation, Mayor, has that pretty much curbed off?
Well, our people, you know, we're very blessed in this country. When we have emergencies, we have men and women here from South Carolina, from North Carolina, from Monroe County, from other areas, Seminole County. When the disaster first occurred, we could have arrested 400 looters, which, again, speaks to the other side of our society. But we couldn't do anything with them, so that we couldn't, by not doing anything with them, we couldn't house them. We didn't have the facilities here in the community. But in the last day and a half, we have arrested probably 120 to 150 looters, and you know, the message that we want to send to anybody that's attempting to come into this community to loot is that they will be arrested and they will spend a great deal of time in jail. We have no tolerance and no patience for that type of activity.
One more thing, Mayor. We have heard reports of people packing guns to protect their homes against looters. It's no secret that many people in Dade County own guns and have them already to protect their homes. Have you heard of any incidents like this of people fighting back against looters with firearms?
Fortunately, I've not heard of any shootings. I've understood that people have, in fact, carried firearms to protect themselves and their businesses, and I can understand it. And frankly, I don't disagree with them.
Is this the first chance you've had to have an aerial view of Homestead since this happened?
Yes, this is the first time I've been up. The city manager, Alex Muxo, has been up a couple of times and had an opportunity to view the devastation.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Landmarks, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's absolutely astounding to see the things that we're seeing. I'm looking at the old Seaboard Railroad tracks, and I see a rail car rolled over, which, you know, it's just amazing to see the devastation.
Okay, Mayor, we will let you go ahead and direct our pilots into the areas that you need to see. We appreciate very much your taking the time to join us. That was Homestead Mayor Tad DeMille joining